Hello, good evening, Yvonne, Melissa.
Good evening, OJ and Yvonne.
How
Good
are you?
evening. Hello. Well, I'm fine, thank you. Very glad with
Excellent.
the time at 6:30, so I can join. It's really a pleasure.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And where you live is snowing.
Yes,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's wet snow, so it dries very easily, and fortunately, so it's
Mhm.
not that we are having it's not white or something outside.
Mhm.
It's only very wet,
Oh, okay.
wet snow. Yeah. Here the same. Here the same, and it's not wet right now, but it was when I was driving home.
Okay. Yeah, the same right here in Capelle and Denise
Yeah.
by Alexander.
Yeah.
We live, yeah. Well, so we are going to see this very interesting lecture also that is related to two different ways, two different opportunities, two different yes options that every human body has in his life. That is the path in the life. So I will share my presentation with you. Yes, are you seeing the screen, right?
Yes, I am. Yep. Yep.
Okay, excellent. We need to understand that gnosis or the Gnostic knowledge is related to the science, but also related to the mysticism. We can consider that the Gnostic science is very close to verify the existence of the spirit, but through science. And also, through mysticism in Gnosis, we can comprehend logically all what the science or common science can't explain us, but through the science of the consciousness. So the word consciousness or conscious have the same word, science, conscious science, right? Always is related to verification, to comproration. So there are two pillars in Gnosis, mostly that we can study. That is science and mysticism. Sometimes we hear that somebody can say science and religion or science and mysticism cannot be together, but we can say that if we study these two aspects through gnosis or through consciousness, both of the areas, science and religion, could be logically integrated because through science we study the physical part of the energy that is God, and through mysticism we study the spiritual part of the energy or God, right? So, yes, let me accept somebody. Okay. So, yes, this is very interesting topic. Um, talk about this same that we are telling you. And first of all, we are going to start with the life. I would like to ask you, what do you consider that life is? What is life for us? Well, yes.
I think it's a human experience that you have on Earth, but I don't know. I don't think we are humans. We are spiritual beings, but now we are human beings on Earth, and we have this experience And this experience is called life, I think.
Hello.
I think, it's an
Okay.
opinion.
No,
An
no,
opinion.
is very good opinion and point of view. Welcome, Edel. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. Um, somebody wants to say something about life. What do you consider about life?
Well, I think in some kind of way, life for me is also energy. And energy is in everything around us, from the trees and flowers till to the furniture in house or the house itself, or
Okay.
and
Yes, yes. Very important points of view because it's right. Life is also an energy. Let me put you an example. If we find with some friend, if we meet with some friend, maybe that friend asks us, "Hey, what about you? How is your life?" And we can start to relate any kind of circumstances of life. Let's say I move to Rotterdam or I move to Amsterdam, I move to this place or the other, like physically, about circumstances. But somebody can ask us also, how is your life? And we can say, hey, I got sick. I have this health affection. I have this situation in my health, in my physical body. Maybe something is not working good. And we can see that, for example, in these cases, we are referring to the life, but in two different ways or two different areas. Also, if somebody asks us, hey, how is your life? We can say, hey, I'm feeling so happy, very happy because I have these circumstances in taking advantage of some situations in my life. Or somebody can say, I'm feeling sad or I'm feeling full of problems, etc., etc., etc. In these answers that somebody can give to another person, we can see that life itself have four fundamental aspects, right? Organical, eventual, internal, and spiritual. Let me explain to you a little bit. I was explaining already, but talking about organical life is your physical body. It's about your health and about the physical expression of God in the nature. Let's say a mountain, a forest, a jungle, an animal, that tree, that plant, any kind of physical expression that we could see through our eyes, right? This is organical. Okay, but talking about eventual life, of course, is related to the events of life. Circumstances, external circumstances that happen in our life. Like I said, moving to someplace else or passing by certain circumstance of life. Talking about internal life, it's about our feelings, our emotions, my wishes, my expectations, my hope in something about life. It's more internal, but nobody can see. It doesn't mean do not exist. Because, for example, depression, stress, anxiety is killing more people maybe than cancer. Yes, this is the newest health condition of this century 21, right? That is killing more people than any other health condition. We can say that. Even stress, depression, anxiety cause a lot of health conditions and affections related to digestive system, related to bones and joint system, related to blood circulation system, among others, organical system in our body. You know, and what we can consider that is spiritual life. Of course, what we were talking about, the essence, our consciousness, our soul, and our spirit, right? So we can find in this explanation that Master gave us the four aspects of our life. We cannot consider one or the other more important because even the spirit needs organical life to express. But we are not saying that the only important is this physical body. Is as Melissa said before, we are not physical bodies with a consciousness, but we are consciousness or essence with a physical body. The difference between is that consciousness or essence, that is a fraction of the soul, never dies. Never. It's eternal. Because it's made of the same nature of the Creator, God. But this physical body, even if it's necessary to grow up and also to awake consciousness, will die someday. But we need that in this moment. Okay? Are you understanding what I'm saying? It is clear for you.
Yes, yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. We can consider any kind of life except the spiritual as mechanical and horizontal. Horizontal means that is starting, let's say, from the left side to the right. It is like this, plane, plane. The whole of humanity, even us, we are going through horizontal and mechanical life. This is something obligatory and mandatory in this physical dimension. This is not the problem. The problem is that we think sometimes that all what's happening here is radical. Is this kind of life that we need to feed, that we need to give all our energies. Of course, every single person, if want to progress in life, need to work, need to earn some money to pay the bills and fulfill responsibilities. And of course, this is related to the horizontal. This is important to survive, but it's not the only goal that we need to have in our life. You know already that. We know already that life has the function in the human being to be born, of course, growing, reproducing sometimes, and die. But the thing is that if we just born, grew up, and die without reaching the self realization of the being, this is what means these three letters in here, self realization of the being. That is to say, the development of all the physical and spiritual faculties inside the human being. We need to reach some kind of awakening, some kind of internal progress before this physical body dies. Not only, being born, growing in, that's it. Because what is the difference, I'm asking myself, between an animal and a human being. Because an animal also is being born, grew up, also do reproduction, also look for food. We look for food, we look for money to pay the food to survive as the animal. Maybe the animal do not have any kind of way to pay by PIN, I mean, or in cash, or having a banking account. But I mean, he also look for food, look for survive, you know. But if our life is not accompanied of some another reason to live, conscious reason to live, a purpose, conscious purpose, there is no difference between a plant, a tree, an animal, or a human being, you know. Yes, somebody wants to say something.
Yes, but what I don't understand is animals and plants. What kind of entities are they? Because they grow and they die. They can get killed by a lion or by plants. They can because it's very hot in deserts. It dies. I'm calling all examples, but they are different beings than we are.
Mm-hmm.
And the human being is much more evolved. Like we're always busy in our heads with emotions, and we all have got lessons to learn in life. But animals, they are so pure and so well. They don't have that problem, I think. Are those entities the same as us, like spiritual beings? So I can choose when I'm dying. I can choose to be an elephant, for instance, my next life. Or are they different? Are they different spiritual beings?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very transcendental questions.
Okay.
Yeah, very transcendental question, Mrs. Melissa. And I'm glad for that. Let me tell you that in the lecture number 13, we are going to see evolution, involution, and revolution. That is going to give us very logical answers, of course, verifications from masters about from where we are coming from, where we
Yes.
are, what
Yeah.
is the purpose
Interesting.
in here, and where we go after we die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, but let me give you an advance, because this is a very important question. There are some kind of evolutional animals and involuted animals, right? If we talk about just animals. In the vegetable kingdom, also we have. Not every single animal have a pure essence. They have an essence, as you told us, as the same as us. Some masters consider that killing an animal, it is almost than killing a human being. Because what is the difference? They have essence, as we have. The thing is that animals fulfill the mission in the existence, and they are regented or governed by the law of service. If you analyze minerals, vegetables, or plants and animals, they give their life in order that the rest of the kingdoms or beings can survive, because it's a law that govern them, right? The service. But in the case of human beings, we are not anymore animals. So we need to sacrifice, because this is the law that is influencing in the human kingdom or humanity. As soon as we start to comprehend that we need to make a sacrifice, that is to say, eliminating our psychological defects, doing very good works to help humanity and also the rest of the beings in nature, then we are understanding what is the science that regent us, that is sacrifice. If somebody don't know that life only have a purpose to serve and to sacrifice, that person do not serve to live, you know? And this is a sentence of Master Lakshmi. Master Lakshmi says, if you don't live to serve, you don't serve to live. Because even to be alive or to have this physical body has a price, has a payment, has a charge for nature. So we need to pay that price, serving to the others, sacrificing to the others, and also working internally in order to not only being human beings, but pass to another level. You know, this is a very deep topic that we are going to explain in the rest of the course. Don't worry. Just I'm giving you in advance because Melissa was asking this very transcendental and important question. Okay?
Thank you, Jay. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, this is fantastic because if we just, returning to the lecture, born, reproduce, and die, we lose this precious time of life in a miserable way, unfortunately. We need to take advantage of the time we have with this physical body and know how to take advantage in order to use this physical body to reach another kind of goals in life. Okay, between the mechanical life that is horizontal, pay attention to this. Between the horizontal and between the vertical, right here, this is horizontal, right? And between the vertical, we have the mathematical point. This is about the Cartesian plane. I don't know if you remember that in mathematics in the school. This kind of sign, let me show you. This one. Between the horizontal and the vertical, we have the mathematical point. This is like intersection. Yeah. Are you understanding what I'm saying, right? This is the intersection, right?
Yes.
Okay. This point in here, in the middle, in the center, is the one that we are referring to. The mathematical point is a certain moment, a certain instant in our life, in everybody's life, where we have great internal concerns, dissatisfaction with daily aspects of life, and occasionally difficult circumstances that lead us to reflection. My friends, we can consider this time in our life, this event or this moment, this period of time, because have a certain moment in our life where when we feel that that is the most important event and moment in our life, the mathematical point. Why? Because from the mathematical point, we can make the difference. And using life, that is the horizontal, start to grow up internally. This is life And this is the path. This is why is the name of this lecture, the path and the life, because every single human body have the opportunity or a choice to take advantage of this common and mechanical life, of every single event from the mathematical point, and then start to grow up internally. You know, so this one in here are the characteristics of the mathematical point, time and period in our life. So we need to pay attention if someday we are feeling this, you know, because we can take advantage and then start to grow up in the path. In the path. Okay, what is the path? In this lecture, we are not talking about any religion. We are not saying that religion is the path or the other is the real path, or we are not referring that somebody can say my religion is better than the other ones. No, it's not about external path. It's internal path. And this internal path that begins with a mathematical point is about consciousness, and is about living the mechanical laws of life. Mechanical laws of life as karma, bad works, bad consequences. Living the mechanical law of return, confused by reincarnation, always come back again and come back again to another physical body. Living the law of recurrency. Don't worry, we are going to explain this in the next lectures. But the law of recurrency makes that everything that you lived before in the past lives, everything that you lived before, then repeat it again in this life without any consciousness. Why this is happening to me? Yes, because most of the people ask himself, even if don't say it externally, why this is happening to me without any comprehension? Because the law of karma and recurrency, you know. So at the moment we start to awake consciousness and take advantage of this common life, then we are going to ascend through the vertical. That is, we can consider the real path that every human being has in his interior. But the interesting aspect of this between life and path is that we cannot grow up internally without taking care of the events of life. You know, that is to say, to be in real spiritual, to be in real working internally, you need to take care and pay attention to the external. That start and begins with the health, for example, of your physical body. The way you have to feed yourself, the way you have to maintain this physical body properly, the way you have relationships with the others externally. That externally is very important to grow up internally. Because sometimes, because fanaticism, sometimes people don't take care about physical body, don't take care about feeding, don't take care about breathing, and a lot of external aspects of life. Yes, somebody leave the hand.
Yes, but for instance, you had a soul contract, or you had a contract where in this life you should learn that lesson, huh? And imagine that somebody, it was presented to somebody like, now you can learn. But what is it when you don't learn the lesson? Is it you die and in the next life you have that lesson again? Or is it in this life that something will repeat again and again until you learn the lesson? How is that?
Yes, awakening consciousness or learn the lesson, as you say, is not by evolution, I mean by the time, or is not automatical, right? Is revolutionary. It means that if the person don't from himself and is sincere with himself and then start to accept the responsibility of everything what happened externally, never that person will grow up internally. The circumstance, Melissa, is going to repeat and repeat and repeat again to the limit of existences because there
So
is,
you
yeah,
mean even when in your next life it will be repeated? Really? So
exactly.
for instance, somebody is 80 years old, and then finally he or she is matured, and think, well, now I understand it. Now I understand what I have done, my mistakes. Now I don't project it on my outside world. Is the lesson then not learned? It will be repeated.
If that person, let's say, in this example, at 80 years old, before to die, that person really, but in real, make consciousness about his mistakes, in the next life, if still have the chance, because there is a limit. We will explain this in the next lectures. There is a limit of existence. This is the difference between Gnostic knowledge, maybe with another schools that says we have infinite lives, and by evolution we are going to grow up and grow up and grow up, and finally we're gonna reach or will be integrated with God with the time. Masters of Wisdom tell us this is not the reality because God is wisdom. Of course, is love also, but is wisdom. So He created laws in order to control, to manage properly the existence in the universe. So there is a limit of existences. But if that person really awake consciousness in his heart, then is going to look for a way in the next life, in the next physical body, to continue growing up. But let me tell you something, Melissa. In real, there are only a few people that really want to change because when we are old, maybe instead consciousness, we can develop fear to die.
Yeah, I
And
understand. Yeah.
sometimes because fear to die, that person, start to pray, start to say to God, oh, forgive me, I'm not gonna do this again because he's
Yes, yeah.
dying.
I have to think about my grandfather. Okay, he was
Yeah,
98, but I think he was praying.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, sensitive topic, but we need to call the things by his name. Even if our case, let's say, because in order to die, there is no age. Children's die. Also, we can die tomorrow. But the thing is, do not believe or do not try to make a change in your life because I'm feeling afraid to die or to go to the hell. No, no, this is not comprehension. When we realize that committing a mistake against others is like we are doing or committing a mistake against us that causes karma, recurrences, unconsciousness, health diseases, you know, all these karmas that we need to pass in this life. And then we make consciousness, we wake consciousness and start to make a radical change, then we enter to the path. But where's the path? Inside me.
Inside, yeah.
Inside
Yes.
me, you know? So I need to focus in this moment of my life, for example, in this course that we are giving you, more in myself, more to the inside, because most of the time in my life, I was living outside me. Focus my consciousness and my mind, my attention to the others, to the external. And we are not saying the external is not important, but it's only the 50% of the thing. The rest is about us, you know, what we can do by ourselves in real, you know. So yes, this is a very deep topic that we are going to continue seeing in the rest of the lectures. So who is on the path? The ones that take advantage of every single event, then grew up internally. With another event, then grew up internally. With another event, then grew up internally. What we have to do in order to take advantage of this event or this other or this other, meditation, reflection, deep analysis, and all the practices that we are giving you in order to awake consciousness, discover myself, know myself, correct myself, and start to eliminate, of course, the psychological aggregates that are the ones that are causing me a lot of problems in my life. So if I take advantage of the physical, then I grew up in the spiritual. On the path, we learn how to fulfill the laws of God and to produce the revolution, what we were telling you, of the consciousness, which take us to the objective and a real knowledge. The revolution of the consciousness is not because the time, is not because the Aquarian age, is not because uh, my father was so spiritual, you know, it's not because my religion, it's not because I read um, a lot of motivational or awakening consciousness topics. It's about revolution, what I can do now, because intentions, I can be in my heart full of intentions to be better, but finally, if life present to me the opportunity to be better in real, and I don't take advantage of that with facts, with works, even me of my intentions, anything happens, so it's about revolution. And revolution of consciousness is to live here and now. And the way I use this here and now in order to do things, not only think or not only feel, to do things, but finally, really do it. We need to make a radical change in us by comprehension if we truly wish to conquer freedom and peace, because the path is related to the conscious work. And this is, of course, the end of the path is related to real happiness, to real freedom of the mind, to real peace, because we are eliminating the causes from the unhappiness or of the unhappiness that, already, also resides in ourselves. Also, masters call the path of the razor's edge to the path, because it is very tiny. It is very tiny. Why? Because I don't have to get identified with the bad people or circumstances, but even with the good people and circumstances. Because more than bad and the good people, I need to be conscious person, conscious people. It's not only to be a good person, because somebody can be a good person, of course, paying his taxes, fulfilling responsibilities, but forgetting about himself, finally. We are not saying that we need to be bad people, no. But Masters always insists into develop the consciousness that is in the middle. That's why this is the path of the razor edge. Very tiny, very unknown, very different about concepts of society and humanity. And you need to find your own path through yourself, of course, with the keys and the techniques and the knowledges that Masters of Wisdom give us. And yes, finally, we have the practices of today, that is the observer and observed, the key soul, and to know the advantage of these practices in the sense of being alert in the daily life, and to know the defects that take us to the wrong states of consciousness. If somebody wants to say something finally about the lecture, what we can say as a conclusion of this lecture, I don't know if everything is clear or is not clear. Somebody wants to say something?
Well, it just brings up a lot of questions and curiosity for the next lessons, because it touches a lot of knowledge from studies I did before when I was much younger, like esotery. And well, I'm trying to match it in my head with all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And well, that. So it's a bit confusing, but also that doesn't have to be a truth for my human being. I just have to feel it in my soul. That's also what I feel.
And be patient, because every one of us that also were in this course, basic course that you are right now, have a lot of questions. And in order to learn in real, we need to be confused. Like,
Exactly. Let it be confused.
exactly.
Yeah.
Give us the choice, exactly as you said. Give us the choice to ask ourselves, if I know already at this instant of my life is the complete truth. Maybe there are so many things that I don't know, and I'm talking about me also. This is a constant learning. Life is a constant
Yes.
learning. Thank
Yes,
you for your
indeed.
for your
Thank you.
comments. Yes, Adele.
I have one question. So we have to live every second, not live in the moment, and like you say, tomorrow I do this, or you say I'm gonna do this today. You have to live in the second you live, and then do the things you want to do. Like how say it? Live in 10-second thinking. Like I cannot explain it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
That's
good.
that's the consciousness of life of you
Yes,
understand what I mean?
yes, that is very correct, because it's according what the explanation we were trying to give you, that is about do things. You know what I realize? Of course, Masters talks about that, but you know, you can verify in your own life when you start something. This is a huge step in the process to reach or to fulfill that activity. The importance to begin to do, to start with some activity, with some project, with some change, with some practice. That is the power of now. Just do it, as some companies and enterprises says. But this is real. Just do it. Just begin, because as Edel says, if we wait until tomorrow to start to do the change, maybe tomorrow we don't wake up. You know. So yes, it's about to live the moment. Yeah, that's it. So yes, my friends, I'm gonna send you also the material of this lecture, and hope you can read the PDF and study the rest of the materials that we are sending you in order to comprehend better these wonderful topics that Master gave us. Okay? So thank you very much, and we will see you the next Monday, my friends. Have a good night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Have
Good
a good
night.
night.
Bye
Good
bye.
night.
Okay, bye bye.